Hey everybody, how's it going? Sorry I popped in here a couple minutes late. I hope that y'all are doing well, of course, and are happy. But how are things going today? Trying to get things situated over here. Anyways, hopefully that looks good, looking good. So, anything new with y'all? Hopefully y'all came in yesterday. We had a good chat yesterday. Again, as I'm busy, but we'll see how long we're on here, how many people want to pop in here. Again, I do need to schedule these out a little bit better. I do need to mention these and I guess schedule them so y'all get a pop up. But I think that if you're familiar with my channel, I announce, and you're probably very familiar that I come on here Fridays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. Central Time. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do it both Fridays and Saturdays. I might end up in the future just doing Saturdays, and I don't know how long I'll do this for, if I'm going to do it forever. You hear the cicadas? I know I talk about this just about every time, but it's no joke. Whenever I come out here, they want to start singing. But how are y'all doing? I see one person here. How are you doing? What's your scent of the day? What are you wearing? I ended up wearing and trying my Carlin's Men of Blame. I don't know if y'all saw my Instagram earlier today, but I decided to pull it out. It's a fragrance I actually bought pretty early, or fairly early into my fragrance journey. It was one of the first niche fragrances I ever bought, and kind of helped me really know and get excited about trying unique smells. It's a fragrance that's really dominated by cumin, and there's not very many cumin or cumin fragrances out there that I have tried and that I've experienced. So it's fascinating that way, and I'm happy that I enjoy it. So hey there, Rich Mitch, happy to see you. You're always active. You're always on top of things. So happy to see you. I wore Zaharoff signature today. Absolutely great. Are you enjoying that one? That was a good fragrance, and everybody speaks pretty highly about it for a good reason, I think. I haven't heard too many people dislike it, and it's a solid fragrance. Even though I did get a bottle for free, and again, I still have the bottle around. I gave it to my dad. Even though I definitely support George and what he does, I've never been a person to really hype up a fragrance, but I have spoken highly about it, and y'all can go watch my review. I still think it's one of the best fragrances out there for a gentleman. For a man who's maybe a little bit more refined, it definitely smells really good for the office. You know, a lot of people talk about Jeremy's fragrance office for men. I would be looking at George's fragrance, Zaharoff, for your office fragrance. Even if you're a younger guy, I wish that you would probably understand it, and you get a far better fragrance for your money. But if that's not a good recommendation, I don't know what else I can give. So I definitely support George and what he's doing. So Pete Galadro says, scent of the day is Zerzov Herba Pura. I need to revisit that one. I don't remember if I've tried that one or not. I know I tried Aqua Universalis, and I tried Petite Matin, I think it was called, and I tried a few of them, but I don't remember if I tried that one. But are you enjoying that one, my friend Pete? How are you doing over there, and how's that fragrance working for you? I need to get my nose on some more Xerjoff. They have quite a few fragrances, and it's fascinating that there's these well-known brands that we might know of. You might know Serge Lutens. You might have heard about them, or Histoires de Parfum, or Penhaligon's, or Xerjoff, or maybe you've heard of Ormond Jane. But I think the majority of us haven't explored a lot of these fragrances, and they actually have pretty good collections, especially Montal. Montal is a little bit of the Old West as well. They have a lot of fragrances, so I do enjoy. Yeah, that's a good one. You can't go wrong with that one. Zaharoff Pour Homme. Have you tried Herba Fresca from Guerlain? No, I have not. I've heard really really good things. If I remember right, I think that's one of Robes Owait's favorites of the bunch, maybe one of his favorite fragrances. I've been tempted to get it. I have kind of mixed. I usually get mixed results with herbaceousness. Sometimes I like the herbaceous quality, even if it's a big focal point of the fragrance. Sometimes I do enjoy that, but sometimes it's a miss. So I'm kind of particular. And at this point, I've kind of slowed down on my blind buying, and I'm really happy with my collection. And at this point, I'm trying to save for some niche fragrances I really want that I've been really wanting for a long time. Maybe in the future, if whenever I make some better money, maybe I'll be able to casually buy a few more of these fragrances. They're a little bit more affordable. It's very minty. Yeah, I love mint. I do love mint. It has to be done in the right way. I usually like mint to be a little bit more on the green side. I meant the cool side instead of the green. I usually like it to be a little bit more transparent, if that makes sense. Not completely transparent. It can have a body, but I've smelled some fragrances that have like authentic mint oil that smells. It can have some almost like earthy touches to it, but it's also very sharp and natural. And I don't know, for me personally, I don't like, I guess, pure mint oil and like that in a fragrance, but I'll have to get my nose on it. It is an awesome collection. I've tried the mandarin, I've tried the basilica. I might be mixing a few of these up, and the lemon verde is the one I fell in love with out of the few that I tried. And I blind bought lemon verde. It doesn't last very long, but it's one of the best lime fragrances out there. And you could layer it up with other fragrances. You could layer it with your Virgin Island water if you want even more lemon. I meant lime. I'm mixing things up. It smells like lime, and I do like the smell of lime a lot better than lemon most of the time. So, but anyways, I'll have to get my nose on that one, Rich Mitch. Pete says, yes, I do enjoy the fragrance, has good longevity and projects well. Well, that's awesome. When you love how the fragrance smells and it gives you, good performance for you, you can't ask for much more than that. That's a good combination. So I'll have to get my nose on that Zerzov. They have one that's based on the stars. It's not the Oud Stars collection. That's not what I'm talking about. They have one like based on the moon, and I want to try that one. I want to see what they did with that fragrance. So that's exciting. Yes, I enjoy the fragrance. It has good. I read that. It's also juicy with the bergamot. Bergamot is pretty nice. Um, Bergamot, y'all know that grapefruit, bergamot, lemon, and lime are things that a lot of people like. A lot of people see it seems very refreshing. It seems that everybody connects to those smells. A lot of people buy sodas like Sprite or whatever y'all call them. Some people call them pop. I don't know what you call them, but anyways, yeah, just about everybody likes it, even if it's a synthetic. People still seem to like it. Let me see. I was trying to say I tend to like grapefruit. I think a little bit better these days. I've never been really big into the lime. I'm into lemon fragrances. I don't know why. I like lemon if it's blended in fragrances, and but if it's a fragrance that's dominated by lemon and the lemon really holds on, especially if it's really synthetic. For me personally, I don't know why, but some people seem to love it, but it doesn't work for me. But I usually like a blend. I like a harmony. I like when you mix all of those together, and you get a blend, and it's that to me. That's what makes it beautiful. I like how a lot of the times the Italians are really able to do that. So, earthy mint sounds quite intriguing. Yeah, I don't know if you've tried. What was that fragrance called? It's by Etat Libre d'Orange. It's the one that everybody seems to talk about from the house. Um, I guess I put it out of my memory. There's a mint one. Anyways, I like Remarkable People a lot more, and I think that's the one I would suggest to anybody. It's still very mass appealing. It's still boozy, and it's a little bit interesting with this almost like curry, like slightly curry spice kind of vibe. I still think it's very easy to wear. And if you're gonna go for Etat Libre d'Orange, I would probably if you're the first one you're gonna try, I would probably suggest Remarkable People. But they do have one that's like upscale recycling. I am not trash. I think they make that one, which is really nice as well. And Etat Libre d'Orange. There was another one. I need to try some more. They have one called. I think they made one called Arrakis, if I remember right. I might be mixing brands up, but it's supposed to be really dry and spicy, maybe leathery, and it's also kind of indirectly inspired by Dune. And for some reason, I like the old Dune movies, so I need to get my nose on that one. I've been looking forward to that one. And yeah, sorry, I got on a different train of thought over there. But Earthy Mint, yeah, it's one of those, it can have like a gravelly texture to it and how it feels. It's not exactly, I don't know, heavy or dark, but I think you know what I mean. Dean says you're going to buy the Beau de Jour. I've been thinking about it. I'm tempted, but I might buy it in the future whenever I run out of some of my citrus fragrances. Maybe some more of my fresh fragrances. Maybe I'll end up buying that one instead of Eau Sauvage. I'm not really sure. But right now, I have, even though I really like that fragrance and I do think it's really well done, I have a lot of fragrances that I like that do somewhat similar things. And I'm trying to save my money for a few fragrances that I really want to buy. So um, that one, I got to test it a little bit more. And I do appreciate the samples once again, Dean. I do appreciate that. And have you gotten your package? It should have gotten to you by now. And I did include your email, so you should have gotten a notification where you can track it. I sure hope that it got to you. And if not, hopefully the border patrol didn't catch it. Let's see here. Cyanoxide says, I got a bunch of Allegorias too. Which ones do you like from the Allegorias collection? That sounded like something jumped on the roof. Who knows? I got a bunch of Allegorias, Guerlain. Those are nice. It's a really nice collection, very mass appealing. And by golly, and if you like citrus, if you like, fragrances that are really likable and really uplifting and fresh, it's you can't go wrong with those fragrances. Even though they don't have the best longevity. Most of them don't. It's a lot of people don't want kind of lighter fragrances. I know a lot of ladies, especially, who kind of prefer lighter fragrances for more of everyday casual wear. So those are really, really nice, and they would make a great gift. And you can find some of them for close to $40 or so. So let us see here. Red Baron says, finally to watch you after a long time. How is everything okay on your side? Happy to see you, Red Barons. It has been a little while. I'm doing pretty good over here. I'm still working up, building my little businesses and trying to make things, start things and bootstrap and trying to make make a better life for myself, so I can actually travel and actually buy some of the things that I want to. But we'll get there. And but things are going pretty well. I've kind of tried and bought most of the designer fragrances and most of the fragrances that I want that are somewhat affordable. There's only a handful of some of the ones I want to try that I haven't, and for some reason right now I just want to focus on a few of these niche fragrances. And I'm getting really satisfied with my collection. Of course, there's always new fun things to try, and I could fall in love with some of them. But from what I've tried so far, and from what I've experienced, and moving forward, I'm definitely going to be saving up and trying to buy the things that I really, really want. And I probably won't do as many hauls. I do have 2 haul videos for y'all to make. I could put together a giant haul video from just a bunch of random things. I don't know if y'all want to see that, but it would be fun. But yeah, that's that. So my fragrance journey has changed a little bit. I still do like designers. I still wear mostly designers, but as time goes on, I'll probably transition a little bit more into niche, and I'll probably have, I don't know, maybe something like 40 Thieves, and wear that as more of a casual fragrance if I can afford that. And I would love to do that, but everybody has a different attitude with their own fragrance journey. So everybody's different. So I've always been the person to learn and transition and grow. And I'll still wear designers. I still have a lot of them. I always will like them. And hopefully some of them won't get discontinued and won't get too expensive. But I don't know. For me, I'm starting to really want things that are a little bit more exclusive, and that could be considered prideful, but I've always liked the feeling of smelling like being the having a smell or a fragrance that nobody else has really experienced before, and to me that's something special. So let's see here. What are your favorite patchouli fragrances? Honestly, I need to try more patchouli fragrances. That's definitely a note that I like. I do like the smell of patchouli. I feel like I like perfumers who are able to make it rounded and smooth and rich. So Javoy Psychedelic is certainly one that I need to really try and explore. My favorite so far is Patchouli Noir from Il Profumo. but I have a vintage bottle that's been aged. The newer batch, the sample that I originally had tried, uh, it's a little bit more almost powdery. It's the patchouli does come through. It does smell of patchouli, but I don't feel like it's a patchouli dominated fragrances. It's more of a semi gourmand, and I think would be very good for a date. So that's by Il Profumo. I patchouli fragrances. There, I have one that has quite a bit of patchouli, but it's a little bit of a mix of things. It's kind of like an aromatic fougere in a way of sorts. It's Baldessarini's cologne, in I think it's called in concentrate. Baldessarini cologne concentrate. I'm pretty sure that's what its name is, and I really like that. And I think it's a fantastic value for the money, fantastic quality, really outstanding juice. Um, I haven't found a lot of really rich patchoulis that I really want or have to buy. There's some on my radar. There's some that I really need to try. There's a house out there that has one called Indonesian patchouli. I can never remember the name, but their bottles have this like gray look, and then they look like a little bit of like a sailor, like almost like a wheel, like on on a ship back in the day, uh, like pirates. So I definitely want to try that. And anyways, I can't think of many for some reason off the top of my head. I did speak pretty highly of Bentley Home Intense. If y'all have never gotten your nose on a patchouli fragrance yet, and maybe you don't own one in your collection, that's a great one to start off with. There is a fairly strong sage note, but it's pretty good quality for the money and pretty solid performance. And that fragrance was hyped pretty well. The Bentley Homme Intense, so it certainly is worth checking out if you've never had a patchouli, and also if you don't want to spend a tremendous amount of money. It's a great fragrance, and a lot of people spoke highly of it for a good reason. So Pete says, have you tried the House of I? How do you say that? Ioko, 1954. I have not, but I have seen the bottles. I know what you're talking about. They're a little bit more tubular, and I wouldn't say that they're thin, but they're a little bit slimmer, and the bottles seem to be a little bit taller. I know exactly what you're talking about. I think they must have a patchouli. And is it you, Rich, who talks about really patchouli? I have smelled that one from Boise 1920. Or there was somebody last night who was kept talking about that one. And it is a really good patchouli fragrance. It is a little bit almost linear, where patchouli is the focal point, and it has kind of some supporting notes. But so if you're looking for something overtly complex, or where if a fragrance really changes a lot, as a niche head, I don't know if it would be for you, but it would be. It could be a very good introduction to a patchouli fragrance. It could definitely be one that's a little bit easier to understand. So, are there any women's fragrances that blow your mind? There are a few. I often mention. I guess these three are the ones that I often mention to ladies. If they want something mass appealing and likable and charming, it would be great for date nights. Well, maybe there's four. One of them is Angel Mousse by Mugler. A great designer fragrance, very well done. It has a little bit of an earthy feel as well. People compare it to Nutella. I don't feel like it's oozing gooey chocolate as much as some people do, but it certainly is a very rich chocolate kind of smell. And it has that womanly DNA. It has good performance. It's fairly affordable. Angel Muse by Mugler is outstanding juice. And it does have, I think, if I remember right, it has patchouli. So I guess we're on a patchouli conversation today. Anyways, Angel Muse, fantastic juice. I do recommend it. And for a gift as well, if there's any ladies watching, or if you're looking for a gift for your lady for this fall and winter, it does come off, and I think would be a little, of course, during the nighttime, or if you're air conditioned environments, of course, y'all know I say it so many times, you can get away and wear anything you want if you just spray a little bit more, or maybe spray a little bit less, depending if it's the high heat or the cold. But I think that would be better for the fall and the winter. But that's definitely one. Another one that blew me away was Le Eclat, the flanker from La Vie est Belle. I think that's Lancôme if I remember right, but La Vie est Belle, the Le Eclat flanker once again, and it has like this guava nature to it, and I love the smell of like fresh guava and it's almost figgy, and it's classy. It can be overbearingly sweet. It is very loud, and it has a lot of performance. But if a lady, sprays it correct appropriately, um, even though it is, some ladies might feel like it's a little bit more juvenile. They might feel like it's a little bit more, I don't know, modern, like Poison Girl. Some ladies think that Poison Girl is not a very good creation. I think that Poison Girl is really nice and actually can be really seductive. But yeah, that Eclat is very happy and sweet and one of the best feminine fragrances out there. And there's a lot of the La Vie is Belle, fragrances that actually are really charming, mass appealing, and with great longevity. Again, us in the fragrance community, sometimes we're not getting out there as much, and we're not really, going to the fragrance counters as often as we should and asking them questions. That's how I learn a lot of these things, and I try to ask people's opinions wherever I go, whenever I can. And La Vie is Belle is a pretty big darn seller, and it doesn't hit the top 10 list of the ladies. And I don't want to criticize other YouTubers, but a lot of the lady YouTubers are kind of making content for the guys because I think most people who watch fragrance content are kind of guys anyways. So the girls, suggesting men's fragrances, I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. You know what I'm talking about. So that's a whole nother topic. But anyways, another one that blew me away was Venom of Angel. It's I can never remember the name. I forget if the brand is Polish or something. But it's Venom of Angel, and it's a great, very feminine feeling fragrance. Has that aldehydic, pink, floral, sweet kind of DNA, almost like Coco Mademoiselle EDP, which again is a big top seller, flies off the shelves. Ladies love it, good longevity, and outstanding fragrance, and almost every lady seems to like it. And again, it's just not mentioned on YouTube very much, which is really funny. It's they can't even keep it in stock half of the time at my local mall. Every time I go, the tester sprayed, it's like empty, and all the bottles are sold out. So that's saying something. But that Venom of Angel is a niche fragrance. It's not cheap. You'd have to blind buy a sample or blind buy the fragrance, but it's got a beautiful like coconut vibe and white chocolate and that feminine pink, that pink floral sweetness. And there's something a little bit dangerous about it, something a little bit alluring. And those are some fragrances that really blew me away. You know, I thought Roses Vanille by Mansara was nice. I have tried quite a few of them that were nice. But feminine fragrances actually blew me away. I don't know. Some of them are a little bit more unisex. There's one called like Un Nuit something. I think it's by the different company if I remember right. I'd have to get back to y'all on that one, but it has a really, really nice, almost like maple syrup kind of vibe with a blueberry. And I don't know why, but that stuff's really good. Um, Trying to think of other feminine fragrances. I haven't smelled too many that blow me away. A lot of them seem to be kind of vanillic heavy or a really I don't know what's another word for it. Or on the other side with the vintage fragrances, I'm not too much into the chypre scene, and even the Orientals that are really yellow floral or really animal, those animalic, sultry, powdery fragrances. Even with the honey, about the only one that I actually liked was like Bee by Zoologist. That's one of the only ones that I've ever liked, kind of like that. And those really spicy vanillas that again turn yellow floral. Those aren't for me. I don't like Chanel Number Five. But we're all different. So, anyways, those are a few of them. I hope that helped y'all out. I was trying to remember if there were any other feminine fragrances that I thought were really good. Oh, there's one called Caban by Yves Saint Laurent's exclusive collection. That one is, I guess you consider it more of unisex, but ladies, if you go on a date night and you know that you're going to be close to your special guy and you're wearing something like Caban and you're wearing like silk or like especially that like jaguar cheetah print like a silk dress, I mean, that stuff you would slay. I mean, absolutely. Caban is definitely a close encounter type of fragrance. It doesn't project very much. and people are going to criticize it. It's a benzoin or benzoine fragrance, depending on how you say it. I think I did a review of it. I'm pretty sure I did. Again, I review and I smell so many fragrances, and I talk about so many fragrances on my Instagram and here on YouTube, and sometimes I get things mixed up. So please tell me if I haven't, and I can get another review out there for y'all. But it's yeah, that Caban from the YSU Saint Laurent private line, the exclusive line, is something special. But again, it's definitely more on the date night when you're going to be close. So, anyways, let's get to some more comments. So, now I haven't gotten it, unfortunately. Yeah, I did definitely need to try that Ioko. I have had my eye on them. I have been wanting to try that house. There's a lot of really nice niche houses. There's a couple of new ones that popped up recently. Was it called like Electromus? I think that's what the house is called. They have their sign is like this eagle with like lightning around I think that's what it is. And there's one that's based on like Greek myth. Well, the name sounds like it's Greek. It must be based on something Greek. Um, and I can't remember what the name of the brand is. I'm terrible. I'll get back to y'all or message me on Instagram if you want to know. But there's a few exciting new niche houses that came out too. So Charlie Brown Parfums in the house. Hey Ben, hey, how you doing? Definitely support this guy. If you, I think it's Portuguese you speak, Charlie. But if any of y'all want to check Charlie Brown's, his content out, he's an awesome friend from Instagram, and he's a down to earth kind of guy, and he's getting into his fragrance game, so he's new into the fragrance community. So definitely support him, please. Super Fat Bass. The Sultan Pasha Attar sample set are €75 for 29. Anyone purchased it? I have not purchased it. It would be I'm sure a very eye-opening experience to try all kinds of different oud attars and different attars from everything from sandalwood. Maybe there's ambergris in there. I'm not sure. To different types of ambers and different woods and I'm sure that there's a lot of beautiful things in there. I haven't bought it yet, but maybe I'll have to get that for myself for Christmas. But that would be a lot of fun. Sometimes I want to hold myself back because I already have like 10 or 20 niche fragrances I want to buy. But so I kind of almost want to stop myself from buying discovery sets like that because I might find one or two that I want to buy, and then my list keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then I actually don't have any bottles of anything that I want. So, Cloud-Based Scent says just bought Slow Explosions from Imaginary Authors, and I like it 10 times better than Memoirs of a Trespasser. Not even talk about this one. Yeah, a lot of people seem to. That one was actually hyped a number of years ago. Or there was a few fragrance reviewers who really liked that one. It's a solid fragrance. I need to revisit them all. I remember liking Cape Heartache, and I did like Memoirs of a Trespasser. But yeah, it's if you're not into woody fragrances, Memoirs of a Trespasser might not be for you. It might feel a little bit maybe boring, but I do tend to like woody fragrances. So that one was nice. But the only one that I probably will buy sometime in the future, and again, everybody's different, so it's very funny. And I've heard some people say that it's a pathetic fragrance, but my favorite was Oh Unknown, and it's because it's a musk fragrance. It's a very well-rounded musk fragrance, and maybe some people just don't like musk, or maybe somebody out there doesn't understand the fragrance. But it's been so long, I even forgot which reviewer said it, but they thought that Oh Unknown was terribly boring, and that's my favorite one from Imaginary Authors. If I buy one, it's probably that. And if I had to buy one, if I had a lady around, it probably would be Cape Heartache, if I remember right. That's the one with the strawberry and that sparkly quality, if I remember right. So, yeah, but Slow Explosions does have a very interesting, fun quality about it. It can sneak up on you. It's called Slow Explosions for a reason. So, Super Fat Bass, yes. Brandon from Therapeutic Fragrance bought them. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out here, Therapeutic Fragrance, and they know a lot about Attars, and yeah, he's one of those. He's the go-to, pretty much the Attar king. He knows all about the Attars, and it's he has a wealth of knowledge. Give him a chance if you're ready to explore deeper into the world of fragrance. There's some of these guys who are doing a great job, and they almost everybody almost has their own speciality. At least I think that some of us do. We have our own preferences. Y'all know that Fragrance Journey, who sometimes pops in here. He's like the oud fragrance guy, or just I guess the animalic fragrance guy. If you like animalics, he'll help you out. He knows what he's talking about. So, Dean says, "How did you like Ani?" I thought Ani by Nishane is a solid fragrance. It's fantastic. I do like it. I suppose it's more unisex, but again, it is unisex. Guys can comfortably wear it. But for me personally, I don't. If I like a vanilla, I like it to be mixed with darker notes or heavier. I like it to feel richer. To me, Ani comes off as more wispy and cloudy, and comes off in the air. Almost, it's very dispersive, and then it has this like airy blend of like these like berries or blueberries almost. It's kind of hard to describe. And then there's some sweet, and there's a tiny bit of floral, and um, I don't know. I personally don't want to feel like a wispy, airy vanilla. I don't know, like a Cool Whip with berries on top or something. But it's a great smell. It smells very, very beautiful. And again, I'm trying to say this in the best way. Guys can comfortably wear it. If you like it, wear what you love. That's my motto. I'm all about that. But I personally would prefer that on a lady. If I had a lady around and she was smelling like Ani, hey, that would be awesome. And Stephanie, you just popped in. You'd be, I bet you'd like Ani. Have you tried that one? It is a very good fragrance, and it's getting some hype. It seems to be getting a lot of love right now. It's a fine fragrance. For me, my favorite that I've tried from Nishane was Fan Your Flames. No doubt about it, hands down, can't beat it. So far in my world, I do want to try the get my nose on the saffron, call it cologne, or I don't know how you're supposed to say it from the brand. Again, of Nishane, Colognese, how they spell it. It's kind of spelled funny. But I might as if I get enough money, I might as well blind buy it because I love saffron. I love that cologne style of fragrance, and if I had the money, I probably would want to smell like that every day. So, but anyways, yes. Again, hi Stephanie, happy to have you. It's always good to see you. Uh, Flatty Batty, sup Rich, happy to see you. That's a funny name. Is that a real profile name? Is that a troll profile? I don't even know. But thank you for popping in. Matt Storm. So I just ordered a sample of Herman a Mezcotes. I hope I done. I don't know what you mean by that, but it does sound nice. Tell us more about it, Matt. Not too familiar with that fragrance. Flatty Batty says, "Sup, Benjamin? Hey, how you doing? Happy to see you. How are things in your side of the world? I don't even know where you are, but how you doing?" Yes, Slow Explosions by Imaginary Authors is my favorite from them. Yeah, it does get a lot of love, and if you're gonna try out the House of Imaginary Authors, I would definitely recommend you try Slow Explosions and sample that one, and probably Cape Heartache, and Sundrunk. Those are probably the most mass appealing, or probably the most likely to grab your attention and be likable for you out of the bunch. And you might find, if you're particular, you might find a different one, but those are probably the three. If you're going to check out the house or blind buy samples or something like that, I probably would go for those three. Turn into Pee Wee Erman. Me? I do know who you're talking about, but no, I'm not gonna do anything of that, like that. It's Rich Mitch. Yo, I heard about Sultan Pasha on Fragrance Journey stream, but I'm amateur. They might be a bit advanced. Yeah, definitely take things at your own journey. Don't rush into anything if you're not comfortable. If you're still wearing the blue fragrances, and again, nothing's wrong with the blue, and you can still switch it up and wear what you want. But if all you have in your collection is only blue or only very, very mass appealing stuff, if you haven't dabbled into any niche or even entry level niche like imaginary authors or what's some other entry level niche? Um, late artisan parfumeur, imaginary authors, late Etat Libre d'Orange. Even though Etat Libre d'Orange does have a few weird ones, for the most part, they're kind of entry level. If you've never tried Byredo or Gallivant and don't know how you feel about spending that kind of money or diving into things that are more unique, or Parfums de Marly. Uh, I wouldn't jump into Atars. That's kind of on the deep spectrum. I think a lot of people would say it's kind of deep into the hobby, where you're more interested in layering, or you really like the nuances and the beauties of the naturals, and you have to really like like those nuances, and you have to be willing to pay for it too. They're not cheap. If you start going for oud atars, my friend, I don't know how much money y'all have, but some of the stuff I want is real like wild. I think it's Filipino oud, and 3 mils of that stuff is like $350 for 3 mils. That's like over $100 a mil, and that does not even include shipping. That's too rich for my blood, especially at this point. And I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable with wearing anything like that, especially casually. I wasn't raised rich, and wearing something like that, around casually, I don't know how I would feel about that. It's that's something that Arabian royalty do, wearing high end, ouds everywhere. So, anyways, Cloud Based Scent says, I love orchid and perfumery, but I don't see it talked about much on YouTube. One of my favorite notes. Orchid is a good note. It is a little bit polarizing. It's like a dark floral. It's a little, to me, it almost has a little bit more of like a dominant and reserved nature, like the dominant, confident, and maybe it's a little bit mysterious kind of cousin to tuberose. And tuberose is a little bit of a BA, if you know what I'm talking about, a bad A, where it's confident and it's dark, and it's a little bit more rebellious. It's a little bit more outspoken, and how the note comes across. So orchid is a nice note. It's not too common in perfumes. You could definitely go on Fragrantica and search notes and search orchid, and it'll give you a bunch of great suggestions. For orchid fragrances. There's not a lot of them out there. Maybe it will become more popular as a note. Especially, trends do happen. We've just saw Tom Ford come out with their Black Orchid Parfum. So maybe some of these brands will say, hey, maybe we want to, this note, we can take a risk on this, and maybe we can mix it into some of these Tonka rich, or maybe some of these rich sweet fragrances. Maybe they're going to make it work. So who knows? Maybe it will become more popular here in the future. I'm a little, again, I'm kind of making this up a little bit, but I always think that tuberose and orchid are somewhat similar, and I don't know, like sisters. And I'm kind of on the tuberose side, but orchid is nice, but I would choose tuberose. And some people like the sister called Jasmine. I should make an episode and just make some kind of like comedy sketch about this, where all these sisters are arguing with each other. Jasmine and orchid and all these floral notes. My mind is going funny. I hope that y'all like my humor, but it's I'm not a big. Sometimes jasmine is nice, but people are head over heels with jasmine, and every single fragrance they smell any jasmine, and it just blows them away. To me, it has to be the right jasmine, and sometimes jasmine isn't for me. But let's see here. I'm pretty experienced with the stuff most people don't like. Shout outs to me. Absolutely, Flatty Batty. Once you get more, everybody's on a different fragrance journey. I wasn't trying to suggest that, you will get to that point, or you should get to that point where you only like niche, or you like niche more than anything else. I'd never want to suggest that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that some people, like I'm kind of becoming a little bit over time, I'm starting to, even, find niche that's sometimes mass appealing, sometimes it's creative, and you just find the perfect thing for your situations, and that fits you over time as you try all these hundreds and thousands of fragrances. You don't have to settle with something that you might think is just okay. You can find something that's almost perfect just for you, for that emotion, that outfit. the weather or anything that you're looking for. So I just want to be, I guess, be again transparent about that. Some people get a little bit annoyed about me anybody saying anything like that. So let's see here. Shout outs to me. Lol, I love Ani. It's delightful. You're gonna be smelling gorgeous, Stephanie. Ani's really really nice. And if any of you ladies out there do like vanilla, again, Nishane's Ani is a solid fragrance, and y'all know that I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nishane is certainly not doing anything for me. I entered a big giveaway, and I was maybe hoping that they wanted me to review their fragrance and maybe give me a little, almost like give me almost a little bit of preferential treatment. Because I'm a fragrance reviewer, and I entered that giveaway, and you were able to put in multiple entries, and I tried so hard, and I wanted a bottle of Manugu, I think that's how you call it, and I tried, and I didn't win. I didn't get it. But even though I've spoken really highly of Fan Your Flame so much, but it's that's the one that I want to try, and again the Saffron Colognese. That one, the Saffron Colognese and the Manugu are the two that I really want to get my nose on from Nishane, and the other ones that I might like. And again, I do speak highly of these houses. Some of them, like even like Amouage, but just like Amouage, I have Jubilation 25, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. And I really want Myths Man, but I gotta try Portrayal Man, and I think there's another one that's like a sandalwood one, and I definitely got to get my nose on that. But I might, if I might not even own four. Who knows? I'm not gonna buy the whole house. I've never been a person dedicated really to a house, just like I am with music. I'm never dedicated. I like some bands. Again, y'all know that I joked about it on my Cinch Your Crush video, that tag video that I made, and Nightwish is probably my favorite band. If I had to pick one, but I'm not dedicated to any band. Sometimes I can like one song from a band, and I might dislike all the rest. And I only like one song from them, and I'm funny that way. And I just mentioned that because when I was growing up, there was all these people who were like dedicated and formed their fashion or almost their identity around a certain band, and I didn't understand it. But we're all different people, and I was raised, and people were into what was that, like Green Day, and the emo culture was really popular. I'm still in my 20s, so I'm a 90s kid, and I'm not into that. Anyways, let's get back to the comments. See, Orchid is for an old woman. People can wear whatever they want. Some people might feel that way, though. Orchid, it does come off as more of a mature, confident fragrance. Maybe some people think it smells more like an older lady. I could see that. I do think it can be worked into a fragrance and pulled off by a guy, but I do think that some people would feel that way for sure. So Tanya says, I was thinking about buying some fragrance for my boyfriend. So what fragrance would you suggest for a guy that doesn't normally wear them? That's a good fall without making good for the fall without musk or oud in them. A good fall fragrance. Would absolutely, and you can get it affordably too. You can get it for about $35 or so, but I think you're gonna love it. It's a lady killer. It's Azar Wanted by Night. If he never is not into fragrances, I still think that you should. Even though some people might not say it's not an entry level fragrance, I would, for the fall and the winter. It's a lady killer fragrance, Azar Wanted by Night, or I would go for CH Men Privé. It's the fragrance doesn't last very long, but if you only want him to wear it around you, it's not going to last very long. So maybe you don't want the fragrance to really project out there, and you're the only lady who's going to smell it if you're close to him, if that's what's on your mind. Again, we don't like that Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme has been diluted so much, but it could work for that. If you only want him to wear it when he's close to you, you might want to go for La Nuit de l'Homme. But just about everybody knows it. You might have smelled it on an X. It's really popular in some places if you live in a big city. Dolce & Gabbana The One. even though I think it has tobacco listed, it's very smooth, and I don't think it would scare anybody off. That's really good fragrance, and you can also find that one for 40 or so dollars. If you go to like Fragrance Net, so or Fragrance by CA, Fragrance X, Notino. What else is there out there? Max Forte. No, no, not Max Forte. Max Aroma. Anyways, guys, my favorite Nichane was Africana Olfactory. I haven't tried that one. I do need to try it. Tell us more about it. I haven't tried that. Rich Mitch says, "Hello, Flatty." Uh, that sounds like a bad nickname. I don't know what to think about that. Animalics, not yet. Thanks, hi Duncan. Yeah, animalics are certainly not for everybody. I think very few people get really deep into this hobby, even designer fragrance wise, to really want to learn about or have a big collection. There's a very select special amount of people are really interested into niche, and people who really like animalics are probably, I don't know numbers, but it's a very small percent of the people of the world. But more power to them. Love what you love, but yeah, animalics are definitely not for everybody. But we love what we love. If you find that you like, if you figure out that you love orchid or oud or who knows what you like, neroli. Some people really don't like neroli. I mean, you got to rock what you love, right? So, Ben is one of the last honest reviewers. Yeah, I guess so. I've been actually. I don't remember exactly when my anniversary is, but I think I've just about hit 2 years here on YouTube, and I put out about 500 videos. And I don't want to praise myself, but there's still awesome people like Robes08, the Etherealist, and there's a people who come in and out, and there's some people who are doing a remarkable job. And also, I don't want to say I'm the only one, but yeah, people who are doing individual reviews, it's dying out, and it's dying out because of YouTube. That's probably the biggest reason why. People go, create a YouTube channel. People create YouTube content to get views, and it's not always necessarily that they're trying to stroke their ego. That certainly is a part of it. Social validation, but you get on YouTube to see a decent amount of growth. And I put out about a video out for almost a whole year, a video just about every day. It's been like a second job, especially when I go live every single morning on Instagram every morning. I also put out two other posts besides my live, reposting it and adding something to make it a post. But in total, I put 3 posts out a day on my Instagram. I'm also having conversations, conversating, throwing out country with just about everybody as much as I can, getting back to everybody quickly through email, Facebook Messenger, Instagram messaging, and then if any brand is talking to me, I might do a tiny bit of that. And I'm just I have so much. So much regarding it. It's like a part-time job that really doesn't pay almost anything. I and it's and I've only I think I have 54 subs the last time I saw, and last about a week or two ago I had like 46. So might have gained 8 subs in maybe 2 weeks. My channel isn't going anywhere. I don't know if I have been shadow banned or not. I've hinted or kind of tried to ask if people know anything about that or get their thoughts or their opinions on it. I don't have any way to prove it or anything. And maybe I just need to review designer fragrances, and that would get me views. I know when I first started reviewing fragrances, I didn't use a lot of lighting, and I wasn't the best fragrance reviewer. We're not all perfect when we first start, but I don't think YouTube would hold me back. When PewDiePie first started, his content, his content wasn't absolutely amazing, and not everybody liked it. And a lot of these bigger YouTubers have changed. They've completely changed what they used to do to new types of content. So I don't know what's going on. So YouTubers are seeing that they can either have to play the top 10 game, or always talk about haul videos, or just have fun with it, or if they see that if they do want to become an influencer and become big, they have to play the top 10 game. So that's discouraging. People who do want to do things their way or do something more authentic. I guess that's discouraging as well. And also, y'all know that YouTube is set up to it's set up to support people with authority. You would think that YouTube would at least initially, like when you first started, like really push you out to get noticed and really give people an opportunity to see you. YouTube is the complete opposite. YouTube sees that certain people are drawing attention, and I mean, just search anything. I've searched for my own self, Centaur Fragrance, and sometimes Jeremy Fragrance will pull up before I do, or if I search for a specific video that with my name in it in front, I might be at the bottom of or 5 videos down, and the average person just clicks on the first video that pops up. So it's it's a search. It's a game. YouTube is essentially a game, and yeah, a lot of people have been kind of jumping off, and I can understand why. It's kind of disheartening sometimes. I pop in and sometimes look at people's channels sometimes if I see that they haven't put out some content in a while, and I saw that like Agnes Eva hasn't put out content in a long time. Y'all know that there was a fiasco there, but then she did come back. But then after that, she hasn't put out any content, and there's some of these people who kind of have stopped reviewing. So it's it's crazy. The YouTube world is crazy. So uh, let me get back to the comments. I'll stop with my little rant there. But I do appreciate the compliment there. I'm one of the few people who are doing full length reviews. Robes Wait's still doing it. Some people are still doing. I think Fragrance Bros and there's a few people here and there, and so a lot of these again smaller people popping up, but um, there's not people who are sticking with it, and there's a reason. Anyways, I read that. Anna Malik, Sent to the Day. Casey, happy to see you. Sent to the Day, Dunhill Century. Hope that you like it. That's a really nice one, I think. Really, really nice when you can pick it up for, like 35 odd dollars shipped to you. I think it's outstanding, and I think it's way better than Prada El Homme, and it's not getting talked about. At least right now when it's, so affordable, for 35 or so dollars. So, Flatty Batty says, hi, super well, what's going on here? Everybody has these like little names. Like, are y'all who like fake profiles? I don't know what's going on over here. Ronald says evening scent of the day is Rojas mustache. Is it the EDP? If it's that one's hyped and it's a really good fragrance, I need to get my full length review out for you, got wonderful people. I do have that fragrance now, and if you don't want to wait for the review and you're really excited to get a fall fragrance, go ahead and get it if you like sweet fragrances. It's outstanding juice. Good longevity. Has like almost like a boozy brown sugar type of fragrance. It's pretty modern. It's pretty trendy. Don't get the regular mustache pour homme or whatever they call it. It's that one is more inspired by the original mustache fragrance, which is more of a vintage fragrance. The one that everybody talks about and the one that's hyped is the mustache EDP. So make sure you buy that one. Make sure you look at the notes. It's more of a almost semi-gourmand, or some people might say it's a gourmand, but it is quite nice. It's lovely. Casey says best place to purchase imaginary authors. I don't know of too many people who discount them. You could search at these places like FragranceNet. Often has a good amount of niche. They have Creed often. Right now, with distribution, with a bunch of there's a number of crazy things in the world that are going on right now. But y'all know that shipping and distribution of a lot of things are just not as good as they used to be. So I don't know if you'll be able to find a great deal. Twisted Lily sometimes has $20 off. I don't know if they sell imaginary authors at Nordstrom's or Barney's or any of those types of places, but you might be able to get a discount if you spend a bunch of money. You might get a little bit of a rebate. But I'm not really sure. I do know that Lucky Scent has them, and I believe they ship internationally. So, if you don't want to go with one of these smaller boutiques that they're solid and they're dependable and all that, but that you might just want to go for Lucky Scent. They're the most, probably the biggest, and probably the most dependable out of the bunch. So, Mustache, absolutely, Rich Mitch. Do you think Dua fragrances are worth the price? I really don't want to say yes or no because I haven't tried any of their newer releases. Again, when they first kind of came out, and they weren't really big before they transitioned to a lot of these fusion fragrances, before they really became these 30 ml size bottles and the X-rates, and they changed things up a lot. Before all of that, again, I tried I blind bought about a dozen samples. I thought that two or three of them were decent, but I actually didn't like them enough to buy them. And some of the other ones I actually didn't like, especially the citrus ones. Again, I have a hard time with citrus, but I guess they just weren't for me. But I'll maybe one of these days I'll get my nose on Dua. I don't know. Everybody's different, but for me personally, when you get the Duas with the right discount code, if you have to pay $40 or so for a Dua, there's so many good designer fragrances, especially if you're looking for value, price per money. You can buy plenty of great designer fragrances for about 40, and you could even pay a little bit more, $50 or $60, and sometimes even get like really good high end designer fragrances that are on sale. So I have a really hard time justifying the price for the money. If these fragrances are really good from Duos, compared to Boadicea, the Victorious, or some of these high end niche that are $300 plus, perhaps it could be nice. Especially if you don't want a full 100 mils. Perhaps it could be nice. You get to buy it in a smaller chunk, a smaller investment, and get a lot of variety in your collection. But I don't know, guys. It's sometimes when they're taking inspiration from some of these fragrances, especially if it's a Creed, you can get some of these Creeds if you look at the right places for 250 so dollars. Especially with decants. You could you can get um, you know 30 mils of Aventus for probably $40 if you find the right person decanting it. Depending, but sometimes people are overcharging. Some people charge you like $75 for that. But best performing spring fragrance. Oh, let me get back to the comments. Cape Heartache. Almost said Kaepernick. I was like, what? Cape Heartache said would be a great scent without the phony strawberry note. Yeah, some people think it's synthetic. I do think that it is fairly likable, but if you've smelled a lot of niche, or if you do have a picky nose, you might not like it. I do think that they could have done a better job with the strawberry, but but you know, I do think it's a fairly good smelling fragrance, at least at this point. But if you're experienced in the niche world, if you smell bunches of beautiful fragrances, you will start to get very picky. And I understand your feelings there. It could be better, but I still think it's pleasurable. Casey says best performing spring summertime fragrance. If you're looking purely for performance, I I don't know. Jeremy's Fragrance Office for Men does have really good performance, even though I don't love it. It's not my kind of fragrance. It does have really good performance. You might want to go for a fragrance called The One from Babylon Fragrances. For value for money with great longevity, you might want to go for Hannah Mori's For Him. Um, again, with citrus fragrances, there's not a lot of them that are really long lasting or beast mode besides those that come to mind. There is the Terre d'Hermes Eau Trace Fresh, which I'm a big fan of. I get solid performance out of that fragrance. I get 6 hours, 7 hours maybe. Um, it doesn't give me bad performance. I've heard some people say that it doesn't, maybe they're, spraying a ton of it on their chest or putting their nose into it, or maybe it just really doesn't work for them. I don't know, but it's yeah, there's not an awful lot of them that are going to give you great performance. Again, y'all know I've mentioned it before, but with citrus fragrances, with fresher fragrances, it's just how the aroma chemicals are. They don't last very long, and you're going to have to reapply, or bring a decant with you, or just expect for that fragrance, not to last very long unless you go for a few of those that are really heavily synthetic. If you want something super mass appealing and it'll get you lots of compliments. Some people really dislike it because it's synthetic, but good old Invictus by Paco Rabanne, I don't wear it anymore. I loved it in college, but I kind of grew out of it. But you know, if it works. It's if you're looking for longevity and something that's mass appealing, it doesn't seem like too many people talk about regular Invictus anymore, but it's still up there. It's hard to beat for the performance and the value for money and all that stuff. So, um, anyways, let's get to back to the comments. I'm not on the lookout to try Russian Musk. Flatty Batty says, yeah, it's it does look pretty strong, don't it? It looks strong. Kitty Karina, happy to see you. Thank you for coming back. Axe was the creme de la creme, the icing on the cake, the middle of the Oreo, the leftover milk, and the bowl of Cocoa Puffs. It was perfect for hot dates, the ball, a lazy Sunday. Yeah, when we all have different expectations. We're all used to different things. When I first got into fragrances, first wearing fragrances, people would sometimes like to mention what they knew, or kind of maybe start that conversation to relate to me a little bit. And somebody was telling me about Curve fragrances, and I was nice about it, but I don't think really highly of Curve fragrances. But to him, Curve fragrances were like the gold standard. A lot of people love that fragrance. Just like back in the day, a lot of people might have really worn Jupe, and so I don't like Jupe, and some people might not like it. I think Drakkar Noir is a fine fragrance. I'm not in love with it, but it's a good fragrance. And but some people these days really dislike Drakkar Noir, or for example, Cool Water. I still think that Cool Water is a decent fragrance. I still feel like guys can pull it off in 2020 if maybe you're a confident guy, or maybe you have a dad bod, or maybe you just don't care. It's still a decent fragrance, but yeah, Axe back in the day. Funny enough, it ladies did like it. It was funny. I liked Apollo. That one came out later on. I liked Apollo and I think there was one that was really popular called Lynx, I believe it is, and I think the Dark Temptation, the chocolate one was really popular to some people as well. So, Centralized says, "Hey y'all, hey, how you doing? Happy to see ya." Flatty Batty says, "Casey, try silver wise." I don't know what you mean by that. Flatty Batty, $30 to $45 on Fragrance Net, absolutely. You tried the new Ultramall. I have not tried. It's not a new Ultramall, if I remember right. I think it's the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, and it's the Parfum version. So it's supposed. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a Parfum of Ultramall. If I remember right, I thought it was supposed to be a Parfum version of the original, but I could be wrong. I have not tried it yet. I haven't. It's not at my local mall, and I don't want to fork out the 5, 6, 7, maybe upwards of $10 to get a sample. So. I don't have an awful lot of money. I don't have connections to get a bottle sent to me as a pre-order or anything like that, like some of these big fragrance reviewers do. And they rush to get those views because a lot of people are really searching for that. And that's a part of the game as being a fragrance YouTuber as well. I don't have the money for that, and I don't know if I want to play that game anyways. So, yep, wear what feels good for you. Absolutely. If again, we talked about this, and I made a video about it last week. But if you're just wearing a fragrance and you think it just smells okay, or maybe you don't even like the fragrance, and you're wearing it because somebody else likes it, or you think that people are going to give you compliments, I think that's a shame. And of course, spray appropriately. Don't go to the office with 10 sprays of a strange animalic oud or anything like that. Be responsible, but make sure that you are the person that's enjoying your life. Just like with fashion or anything else, so many people live life to impress people that probably don't know who they are and probably don't care about them. And they could find a hobby or find a passion, and you probably could enjoy life a lot better. And if you're buying designer fragrances, most of them are mass appealing anyways. So it's find whatever designer fragrance you like, and people are probably going to like it on you. And again, a big part of getting compliments is if you like the fragrance and you connect with it and you feel good, then your posture feels better. You're giving off better body language. You're talking better. You're probably taking better care of yourself. When you walk, people notice your stride, and that's probably a bigger factor are just as a big of a just as important of a factor as smelling good and to getting noticed in a positive way. So I definitely want to encourage y'all to be fulfilled. Uh, don't think that fragrance is some way going to fix your life or fulfill your life. Some of these people who are hunting for compliments, and they seem to live life and worry, and they're always thinking about getting a compliment. Compliment is just an icing on the cake. Like you said, it's something that's nice. It's the cherry on top. It's nice if you get it, but it probably shouldn't be something that you really have to have or you have to care about. And for every one person that compliments you, probably 10 people probably like how you smell. And if one person dislikes how you smell, probably 10 other people probably dislike it too. But anyways, a lot of people will just give you looks or body language. I tend to get that more, especially from ladies. A lot of ladies aren't going to chase you down and actually compliment you. With a Ventus, especially in some of these scents, you're a lot more likely to get a compliment from a guy. So, anyways, back to the comments, back to the conversation. Kitty Karina, I believe that's how you say your name, says Curve. I purchased it at Kohl's. I still have a bottle, and spray it instantly brings back a sensation of the middle school girlfriend blue balling for the infinity. Yeah, it was cruel. It was cruel, and yeah, it can be rough out there in middle school, and just growing up, and especially when you don't know any better. Again, a lot of these guys, when we were growing up, our dads didn't teach us really any darn thing, and we were raised in that generation, where we were taught, love and all of that, and people are starting to, I guess, to wise up to, what's really going on. And again, I definitely am not beating up on the ladies. I'm just saying that, there's wants and needs that both guys and ladies have, and if the guys were kind of deceived. I was raised and taught, to be the gentleman, open the doors, be nice, say everything right, buy the dinner, and that does not get you anywhere. That absolutely is not going to do anything for you. So. Stephanie says, speaking of music, have you tried any of the frags from Juicebox? I think that's how you say it. Juicebox. As a music teacher, I'm intrigued and wonder if it's more of a shtick. I think like a gimmick, yeah, or less quality. I honestly really haven't tried any of their fragrances. I need to. That's another brand on my try list. Have you gone to their website? You can actually listen to all the music that's inspired or goes along with each fragrance for free. So that might be fun to do if you just want to look over the brand and maybe listen to their music. They have one called Black Powder. That's the one that intrigued me the most. But a lot of them, they're a little bit more of like carefree fragrances. They're not really my style. I can already look at the brand and tell that at least I don't think I do need to give them a fair shot, but I don't think that I'll be head over heels in love with the brand. But again, Black Powder does look nice, and a few of them do look kind of fun. I do. They come off as very young and trendy fragrances, and everybody's different. But I don't know. I would. Those fragrances look like they would be great for maybe somebody who's younger, but I don't know who. Younger people who have over $100 or $200 to throw at a fragrance, so like that, and research fragrance. So it's kind of funny that way, but yeah, maybe try out their samples if you have a little bit of money, if you want to give them a go. If you're curious about it, hey, why not try the samples? I think they do have a discovery set. Wheel Wise Essence. I don't know. Yeah, that's not ringing a bell. I'm sorry. That I don't know what you mean by that. Tanya Dayton, happy to see you. Absolutely, we're here to help you. Happy to help as much as I can. And sorry, the gnats are going for my eyes again. The gnats have been really bad lately. Let's see here. Did you play the top 10 game for a while? Oh, didn't you? I wasn't. I did try it a little bit. I did. I wasn't doing it every single week. I mean, I did a top 10 for, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks straight at most. But I wasn't trying to make every single video. And I did want to give it a try and give it a go and see if I would enjoy it. I do think, and again, I'm not completely against top tens. I think that top tens can be a great thing. They can, you can have it on a topic, and there are some fragrance reviewers right now who are making them worthwhile. Smelling great fragrance reviews over there. Sebastian is making some based on certain notes, and I think that's a great idea. And I tried to do that, but I don't have hundreds, and I don't have a thousand fragrances to really easily be able to do that. And sorry, the crazy noises are from our fighting dogs, but I'm not against top tens completely. I feel like people, you got to be original. I think you've got to be yourself, and top tens. If you're forcing yourself to do them like me, like I don't love doing top tens. Some people don't care about what style of content that they do. They just want to do whatever people are watching or whatever they think is trendy. For me, doing top tens like that, I could only do them maybe if I worked at a boutique, or maybe if I had access to like 10,000 fragrances, and I thought that I was adding an awful lot of value to you guys. I'm never gonna redo the same content over and over and over with the same fragrances over and over and over. I can't do that for you guys. I'm still gonna do seasonal lists to show y'all what I'm wearing seasonally. Some people really want those. Some people ask those, so I will make a fall and a winter, but I'm not gonna do top tens all the time. Y'all know that I'm not gonna do that. So, cheers, Ben. I want quality, and I want the support of independent companies and perfumers who are into it because they love what they do. But I'm not adventurous when it comes to accords and notes. Absolutely. You don't have to. And when I do my content, I do try to strike a balance of being informational and being helpful, and helping things make sense. So I don't try to focus on the notes too much, and I do try to talk about the accords and talk about things in more of a general way. I realize that if I like to really dive into things, and sometimes I even want to go deeper. Sometimes I want to really go off the deep end, but I know that everybody, I got to make things make sense and help you all on your fragrance journey. We're all at different points. The people who really are almost getting into things, I wouldn't say that I'm at the level of a perfumer with all they know with aroma chemicals, but I have dabbled into learning aroma chemicals and how perfumery is made, and I've been I have my over these two. Well, I've been into fragrance for really about 4, maybe 5 years, but I'm a very curious person. I spend a lot of time with it, so I might know a lot more notes, and I might know how notes act and all those types of things, but I definitely want to make things help everybody. So I hope that I'm striking a good balance on my channel. So let's see here. Centralized says, Ben, you just gotta do what you love and not worry about the subs. Absolutely, you just don't have to worry about that. I do feel like I am trying to make a life for myself, and I am spending essentially a huge portion of my day every day into this fragrance thing. So after I run through all these older videos, I think I am, guys, going to switch it up and go back to my 3 videos a week. More people, I think that was a pace that people are more interested in. People are more engaged. And I think that maybe a fragrance every day is maybe a little bit too much. Maybe you're seeing a little bit too much of me in this face. So let me know real quick if that's a good idea or not. I'm thinking about going back to my old schedule on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll see if that works, if that's something that y'all like. But this is a big putting out a video a day like I've been doing, and in getting rid of some of these older videos, almost like 2 videos a day for a while, and doing everything that I do on all the social media and everything, and it's a lot of work, and I've been very consistent with it. So I do want to put more time and efforts into actually building some companies and actually making a life for myself. So I guess I'm not stepping away. I'm not running away from YouTube or quitting, but I do want to take things at a little bit more of a reasonable pace, I guess you could say, a little bit more appropriate. So I do agree, Centralized. You definitely don't have. If you're just like wearing a fragrance for yourself, if you're not doing YouTube for the love of it, if you're not doing it, having fun with it and being genuine, and you're just doing it for views or clicks or whatever, I guess you're just kind of cheating yourself. But you know, everybody's different. Everybody has a different, almost like a moral system or a different way they go about things. So look at how Georgia Gent and the others word their titles on their vids. Words are important. Exactly. Creed is better than Prada. I don't even want to get into all that. People throw. I don't even want to throw shade on people, but if that's what you have to do to get views, I just don't want the views. Throwing emojis in or throwing in funny titles with hashtags and slants, and I think I actually spend a lot of time in my titles, and I think my titles are actually darn good. And again, a lot of people might not agree, but hey, it's my channel, and I think my titles are creative. They give you a quick snippet. That's my intention, to give you a really quick overview. Like, what is this fragrance? Oh, it's a creamy sandalwood fragrance. Let's learn some more about this creamy sandalwood, and then you get to know the name, the name of the fragrance, the brand of the fragrance, and then maybe something tacked on at the end, like, is it worth the money? Good? Is this good compared to some other fragrances? And kind of leads you into some other thoughts or some other opinions that I have regarding the fragrances. So that's how I go about it. Maybe it's not good for the clicks. Maybe YouTube doesn't like it that way, but I like it, and I think that's my style. So I do know what you're saying, Flatty Batty. You probably mean the best, so I appreciate you for that. So I'm not gonna play the game like Georgia Gent. He's doing top tens and playing that game for the most part, and I'm not all about that. So again, no disrespect to that guy, but if you love doing this, keep at it, absolutely. But I'm still gonna keep doing it. I'm just not gonna do a video every day. Dunhill Century, have you started? Century has started showing up at TJ Maxx. It has. You can get it for about $35. I don't know about TJ Maxx, but that's the price I found it for online. A lot of people are into the TJ Maxx kind of scene. I would rather, not have to hunt for the fragrances, especially with where I live. We have terrible distribution at our TJ Maxx's and Ross. We just have very poor selection. And a lot of the things I want to be able to get what I want when I want, and I want things that might not ever hit or might not be sold at the TJ Maxx's. So I tend to order more online. The majority of my fragrances have come from FragranceNet. Again, more power to the people who love to hunt at TJ Maxx, but I'm not a TJ Maxx seller. I do find it interesting that, again, we have all these subcultures in the fragrance community. We have all these subgroups. There's like a dedicated group of people who want to hunt down fragrances at TJ Maxx's, and these, there's like sales boutiques and find these clearance items, and they love it, and they love sharing the deals that they got with each other and all their friends and everything. And I find it fascinating. We're all different people, so that's awesome. If that makes people happy, hey, go for it. The majority of people doing YouTube channels quit before they hit 1,000 subs. Absolutely. It's not easy to do. And, if you want to authentically be yourself, being a YouTuber isn't really going to validate you socially. So the only reason you're going to keep doing fragrance reviews is if you really want to do the reviews, and because you're not going to get much social validation. And you're just gonna, really want to just share what you know. But especially the fragrance community has grown a good bit from what it was in the past, but it's still a very small niche. It's a very small hobby compared to video games or sports, or a lot of things. Anything from like cars and food, especially things like that. There's a lot of far bigger industries. So it's I do hope that fragrance and perfumery can catch on like wildfire, but who knows if that will happen or when it will happen. But yeah, it's true. And I do use tags, and I have tried tags, but a lot of people who get into perfumery fragrance reviewing, I know some of them don't want to use tags. I mean, they just don't want to, learn the YouTube game like at all. And I don't like the top 10 part of the game, but at least I'll try tags, and I'll try to do a little bit of it. But it's tags are important, but Some people, it's funny. Anyways, wearing Spice and Wood today. Is that Montal Spice and Wood? That's a pretty good fragrance. It is gentlemanly, my friend. Definitely for the what's the how do you say it? The I can't even think. It's like something for the. It's not particular. It's like it's a something man for the. I don't know, notable man. Ultra Supra says, just joined in. Howdy, Ben. Got a question. I got a few fragrances that are in the post office, and it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit in California today, and it's hotter tomorrow. Do you think it'll harm them? Well, I suggest you get them soon as you can. Yes, heat can harm your fragrance. It's not like your fragrances are going to be ruined immediately, but they will get damaged by heat. Again, sunlight, direct sunlight, especially if it's a clear bottle, a lot of these people are putting their fragrances out for display in front of a window, and the sunlight's coming in. That is destroying your fragrances over time. Heat is another thing that will definitely destroy your fragrance over time. And so definitely try to get those fragrances. Sorry, I'm trying to get this light. It's not going to start. Anyways, I got to go soon. It's getting awful dark. We've been on here for an hour and a half. But let me get to all the comments. Let me get all these comments and see how this conversation's going. Yes, save your fragrances. Get them out of the heat. I absolutely hate it when I don't get notified of, my packages and I don't know if they've showed up. And I figure out that, my metal mailbox, my fragrances have been sitting in that annoying little metal mailbox out there for hours and getting cooked. And also, don't spray your fragrance immediately. When you get your fragrances and they're still very hot, you might want to open them. You might be afraid and want to test it if it's bad, or if it's gone bad. You might want to test it because it's a new fragrance and you're excited to try it. Definitely let that fragrance cool down and probably wait a whole nother day to try that fragrance, because it will mess with the blending of the fragrance. I've learned that from experience. I've gotten some fragrances that were still warm and hot from being outside, and certain notes will rise to the top, or the composition will not be what it's supposed to be, and it will return more to normal as the fragrance cools. But with the heat, that the denser things are probably going to be at the bottom and the lighter things are probably going to go to the top because the heat, kind of cooking the fragrance. So that's just my advice to you. Anyways, Ultra Super says several days of exposure to hot weather. In other words, yeah, it's not going to completely ruin your fragrance, but it is going to hurt them a little bit. I guess I should avoid ordering them in hot days from now. Yeah, that, or if it's possible, get them to deliver to your door if that's possible, or maybe if you have good tracking, maybe try to align, make sure that you pick it up quickly. So, not normally a fan of Dua, but I do like that they recreate discontinued fragrances and also improve performance on reformulated bottles like Le Male. Absolutely, they are a successful company, and I'm not trying to beat up on Dua. That's definitely not my intent. They serve a lot of people, and a lot of people are very happy with their products. Maybe when I try some of their newer releases, maybe, who knows, I'll be pleased with them too, and I'll like them. A good bit. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know if that will be the case, but we'll have to see. He should be okay over a few days. Just get them in the dark, colder place when you get them. Yeah, that's good advice. Get them out of the heat as quickly as you can. If you purchase anything from Dua, you're going to get Beast Mode Performance. Absolutely. And some people really like that Beast Mode Performance. That's what they want. So more power to the people who like Beast Mode. So Ben Cancelo says, Xerjov's Dulce di Amalfi. Have you ever tried that one? Copped it on a great deal for 118 for a Xerjov. That's crazy, man. For 100 mil. Retails over 290. Haven't smelled it yet. Blind buy. Man, you got to steal. And sometimes you can find some of those steals like on eBay and some of those places. But hey, if you got a great deal there, I'm keeping my eye on one. I ended up not buying that Elisab. I kind of wanted to risk it, but I kind of decided against it because the same seller is also selling something that I actually have had my eye on for a very long time. And there was another one I was thinking about buying. It's called Into the Void by Juliet Has a Gun. and that one is supposedly unisex, and I still want to get my nose on it. Supposedly, it's a smoky licorice, and it looks really, really nice. But hopefully, I can get this one. I've been saving up. I still got to get, I still got to get my Black Hashish by Artefacto. And I still got to get my Blackmail by Kerosene. But I think I got to go for this one. It's selling for like half the retail price, like you got yours for, or you got it even cheaper than that. So, good, great deal, my friend. Casey says, "Can you talk about Hermes? I love Terre de Hermes EDP. What else is good from them?" Honestly, I have tried a few of them. A lot of people like Jardine sur le Nil. They have like I think it's called a Mediterranean line, or the Mediterranean line. A lot of people love some Hermes from that. They have a bunch of them that are classic. A lot of them that are lighter, fresher notes. They have some ones that are some fresh fragrances that kind of turn into a little bit of like a classy, I don't know, like more of a casual vetiver type of smell. You just, I guess, try some more of there. To me, Hermes, especially for the price, that they're kind of the kings of florals. That's what they really do, really, really well. I like the Terre de Hermes Eau Très Fresh, which is more of a designer fragrance, but you could try some of the more expensive ones. There is the Rocabar and the Rocabar Vetiver, which if you're a gentleman and you like things that are kind of spicy and leathery, those are absolutely fantastic and absolutely outstanding quality. So if you like those kinds of fragrances, definitely get your nose on Rocabar. It's kind of like some of the best hidden secrets of the fragrance world. Then not everybody talks about them, and they're very well done. But there are some that are nice. I haven't found too many Hermes fragrances that I'm head over heels in love with that I have to buy, but I do really respect the brand for what they are. There's I forget the name of it. There's like a rose. It's like a rose grapefruit, like a rose pompaloon or something. I've tried that. Pompaloose, something like that. I need to try the rest of them, but I have tried the rose pompaloon, and it might grow on me. I really like that one. I'm not sure if I want to buy it though. I do have a couple fresh roses in my collection that I already like. So, but solid fragrance, so good stuff. I've just sampled Le Male Le Parfum. It's a combo of Le Male and Ultra Male with Le Male. Oh, it has the Ultra Male kind of more in the top thin, and the Le Male kind of dry down with more of that vanilla. It performs really well too. It's a like for now. Yeah, I bet it's good. A lot of people are excited about it. Again, I have nothing against Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male, but I've never been crazy about that DNA. I thought that In the Navy was actually a really solid, mass appealing, kind of like a blue fragrance release. I haven't tried Aviator out yet. I've seen really lukewarm reception for that one. I still want to try it, but I wasn't crazy about the original. I thought all the Popeye Eau Fresh and the flankers, like the Popeye and the Superman, were pretty solid, and but they were kind of light. But I did like the smell of them. But I never ended up actually buying any of them. But I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll find a Jean Paul Gaultier that I actually like, just like Prada so far, with all the Pradas that I've smelled. I do need to try the Prada El Homme Intense, but so far from what I've tried, I'm not crazy about them. So, good folks are your friends, Benjamin. Absolutely. Good people usually stick around, and they usually are always there for you. So I appreciate that. Flatty Batty says, lucky guy, Dulce Diamalfi is beautiful. I honestly haven't tried that one from Xerjoff. It does smell nice. I like Fico Diamalfi from Acqua di Parma, so maybe these Amalfi fragrances, I think I forget if it's an island or off the coast of Amalfi, somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea. Maybe I need to try some more of those fragrances. It might be perfect just for me. So, I chose Naxos over Dulce, but I'm going back to Dulce. Such a comforting fragrance. I'll have to try it. It does sound nice, and it must be good if it's better if it's better to you than Naxos, because everybody seems to like Naxos. Everybody speaks really highly of that one. So the duo copy of Dolce Gabbana Pour Homme is really nice. I'll have to try that one. I hope that I'll try it sometime. Have you tried the Labo City exclusives? I don't know if I've tried the exclusive ones. I've tried Santal 33. What was it? Noir 29 and what? I always get things mixed up. I've tried a few of them. From what I've smelled, they are kind of synthetic. They're just not my style, but maybe there will be one that I kind of like. But they're kind of simplistic. They do last a good while, but again, they are more synthetic. How they're blended and how they smell coming off as synthetic. If you're gonna make something that's synthetic, that's not composed very well, I would expect them to either be a lot cheaper, or maybe people just don't care that they're not, don't. I don't think they smell very pleasant, but everybody has different likes and different preferences. Maybe somebody out there really likes Labo. I know that some people are crazy about Santal 33, and I like sandalwood fragrances. I'm a sandalwood lover over here, and Santal 33 did like nothing for me. So let me get back to the comments. See, but which ones are the exclusives? Tell me more, Jen. Ultra Supra, I don't get Lamal vibe. To me, it smells like a completely different fragrance. Yeah, I really don't know, guys. I can't add any more to that discussion, sadly. Same here, Ronald. I need to give it more wearings. Centralized says, Ronald says, Japinga, I got a Nosmic to the scent really quick, but smell your clothes at the end of the day, and it does last. Yeah, sometimes we get a Nosmic, spray a fragrance on clothes, and come back a day or two, and you'd be surprised that some of these fragrances that you think don't have terrible performance might actually do decently. So again, some freshies don't last too long, but even if it's a fresher fragrance, like if it has vetiver or maybe a little bit more complexity to it, it probably lasts decently. So let's see. I'm trying to get the lights on again. But anyways, yeah, test them out and definitely spray on your arms and your legs and your shoulders, guys. Remember, I talked about that. Don't spray just on your chest because that's your core, really high temperature, and it's evaporating that fragrance and forcing it into your nose, and you'll go nosmic and you won't really get to enjoy that fragrance throughout the day. So let's get back to the comments. Ronald says, scent, the smell in your clothes. I read that. Ronald Japinga says, I ordered Rasasi Hawass tonight and picked up tobacco and tonka bean. Banana Republic tomorrow. That one's nice. Banana Republic tobacco and tonka. I'm gonna get a review out for you guys of that fragrance. That's actually one of the ones that I did get, and solid fragrance. It's a solid, affordable fragrance, especially if you don't have a tobacco in your collection. If that's not something you're familiar with, it's pretty mass appealing, pretty likable. It almost feels like a Halloween man fragrance if you're familiar with those, but it's pretty good for the money. It's not bad. Juicy Fuego's in the house. Hey, Juicy Fuego, happy to see you pop in, my friend. If y'all don't know Juicy Fuego, definitely check out his channel. Share him some love. Tags are not working on Instagram. Yeah, I don't really. I try to understand all these platforms. I try to use tags on Instagram, but it's all a mess. I never know what works and what doesn't, but I try. I try to get them to work. Creed Spice and Wood, yes, absolutely. Oh, Creed Spice and Wood, that's the one you were thinking about. Yeah, that's a solid fragrance. That's actually one of my favorite Creeds. I'm not a big Creed fanboy, as y'all know, but that one, Royal Scottish Lavender, and I do like Virgin Island Water and Silver Mountain Water. Not the fragrances themselves in particular, but I do like what they did for the fragrance industry. Lights back on. I did like that they did inspire a bunch of other flankers and fragrances inspired by them, that I think maybe did things a little bit better at a more affordable price. So I kind of like that they do exist, for the influence that they were on the fragrance community, the fragrance industry. But yeah, Spice and Wood is pretty nice. And let's get back to the other comments. It's nice. Do every other day. We enjoy your live streams. I'm glad that y'all like them. I will keep these up. At least I'll do one. At least I'll do one every Saturday. I don't know if I'll continue to do one every Friday. We'll have to see about that in the future. But I do want to keep doing lives. I still do them on Instagram every morning if y'all want to see more of me. Not on Sundays, but I do them every weekday. But it's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. Now I gotta look up Juicy Fuego. Are the are Oh, does he speak English or Espanol? Does he speak Spanish? He speaks English. But there are some wonderful Spanish speaking channels too. So yeah, he's English. Ultra Super says Ronald Chapinga. I definitely got to get Lamal, especially in the dry down. Okay, Black Vines, Kerosene is heavy black licorice. I do want to try it. I like when the licorice is blended and more of a supporting note. I don't know if I'd like that one because I don't want the licorice to really dominate the fragrance, but I definitely got to try that one. When I get my blackmail, that might be one of the ones I ask you get two complimentary samples, I think, and there's the one that's the coffee based one, and I might have to ask for that one as my other sample. So Ultra Super says, yeah, I will do that, but it really stressed me out knowing that they're still sitting out in the room getting warmed up, and they won't deliver until Tuesday. That's crazy. Can you not get them? Do you not have a key to your own mailbox or something like that? That's crazy. I just fell in love with Rockabar Pour Ohms 1987. I stocked up. Rocco Barocco. Yeah, absolutely. If you know that you love a fragrance and you never want to live without it, again, I'm the person who's always looking around the corner finding a new fragrance. But if you have an emotional connection, if you never want to run out, buy it back up sooner than later. Some of these designer houses, you don't know what they're going to do. Again, Spice Bomb, after 6 months, they reformed it, and they reformed it really quick. So, Cartier worth trying. Depends on which Cartier, but Cartier is a solid designer house, very good designer house, outstanding, and they just don't get a lot of hype and a lot of talk. Declaration en Soir is a very wearable, light, fresh rose fragrance, very well done. Le Cartier's Le Envol is a solid, kind of like a powdery, dry, crushed honey fragrance. And for designer prices and for what you're getting, it's kind of creative. It's kind of different. There's not a lot out there like it. If you like powdery notes, it also might tickle your fancy. I really used to speak super highly of Declaration en Soir Intense, which is a little bit darker and a little bit more spicy with the cardamom, but it's discontinued and prices are outrageous, so I don't talk about it too much anymore. Y'all do know that a couple weeks ago that I got, or a month, maybe it's been as long as a month ago, I got a Roadster, and I even got the Roadster Sport so much because I liked it so much. I got that one too. So solid fragrances. If you're a gentleman, if you do like classic fragrances, do yourself a favor and probably get that Cartier Roadster before it dries up. If you sometimes it'll pop up on sale at discounters for about $45, but the supply of Cartier Roadster is drying up. If you're a gentleman, forking out the $60 isn't a terrible deal. That's what I ended up doing. I should have waited because a couple bottles popped up on Fragrance by C8. I wish I would have waited, and it was about 45. So personally, I never buy Le Labo. They are barely okay. Yeah, I don't like Le Labo as a house, but we all have our preferences. So I go Anosmic to Baccarat Rouge 540. I can see that. It does have an ambergris dry down, and a lot of people tend to go Anosmic to Ambroxan or ambergris. So Casey, especially if you're forcing it into your nose, it's a very strong musk. Very strong. Casey Jones, Cartier has many excellent ones, especially up for the price. You can find some of the best values. Absolutely. It's just like Lalique, and some of their designer releases, outstanding values for money. Just isn't hyped and talked about. They're not blue fragrances, and some of them are a little bit older, but they're still great. So they just don't hit big top 10 list of some of the biggest fragrance reviewers. So you're a cool dude, Ben. What's a fragrance you've been lately seeking out to buy? The two that are definitely on my mind, besides the one that I might be able to buy, I do want to keep it a secret. I do trust you guys, but I'm waiting on the bid, and I'd like to snipe. So I'm like trying to wait to the last second, and I don't want a lot of competition. So we'll have to see if I get that fragrance. I've been waiting forever, so this is a perfect opportunity. I hope that I get it. But as far as actually buying fragrance, Blackmail by Kerosene, if you like mysterious dark fragrances, and the bad boy type of vibe, a little, and a fragrance that uses a little bit of smoke very well. If you like that dark berry type of vibe, the dark berries of Cedroc Boise, or maybe even what's it called, Enchanted Forest by the Vagabond Prince. You might just like Blackmail if you want a little bit of smokiness and a little bit of darkness mixed into it. And also, I really got to get Black Hashish by Art Olfacto, which is a smoky cannabis fragrance. It's kind of like the dark cousin. If Hindu Kush by Mansara was white, its dark side, its alter ego would be Black Hashish by Art Olfacto. And so if you're a smoky fragrance lover, sometimes I do enjoy a good smoky fragrance. I think you'll enjoy it if you guys are fans of that kind of stuff. So let's see. Let me get back to the comments. Casey Jones declaration. Declaration on Soir. Pasha. Yeah, there's the. What is that one called? There's the new Pasha something. It's a new 2020 release, and it's like a parfum. I think some people say it has some fougere tendencies, but they say it's very boozy as well. I've heard very good things. I've seen like 5 people in the fragrance community all rant and rave and say it's amazing. It is a higher end fragrance. I think it still is a designer, but I think the full retail is fairly expensive. And I think the cheapest you can find that one is about $60 or $70 if you find a good price on it. But it sounds outstanding. I should get my nose on it. So. AA says you're a cool dude, Ben. What's a fragrance that I answered that, but absolutely. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Y'all are awesome too. And sorry if I keep getting up. I'm sitting on this chair. I'm out here in the humidity. I'm sweating a little bit, and it's kind of annoying my back. So, licorice dominates black vines. Blackmail is a smoky berry. Absolutely, I really do like Blackmail. That's the one I know I have to get, but I still do want to try that Black Vines. That sounds good though. My dad actually is a big licorice fan, so I got to get him to try that one. So, Super Fat Bass says, "Good night, y'all. Stay safe. You too, Super Fat." Everybody's got crazy names in here. Maybe these are alter egos or ghost profiles. I don't know who you people are. If you're fellow fragrance reviewers, I love you and I wish the best for you. And I wish that you would come out here and actually, say hello. You don't have to hide. I know that there's drama. I know that some people play games, but you don't have to have an alter YouTube account. So Hillary is live. Everybody's leaving for Hillary. I understand she's awesome as well. So yeah, definitely. I guess check out Hillary too. If y'all don't know who she is, she's a great fragrance reviewer. And I guess I'll send y'all her way. I should probably go anyways. I've been on here for an hour and 42 minutes. We've been on here getting close to 2 hours. We've made it a good long chat, and we've had a good time. Hopefully you've learned something. So hopefully you've had some friendship. Hopefully you've had a good conversation and it's been worthwhile. You spent your time here, and I really do appreciate all of your friendship and everybody popping in. Everybody, y'all are awesome. So. Good to put Montal Oud Damascus or Damasia on after the beach and shower. Good evening, night scent. Heavy but interesting. I do need to try that one. Damasia Rose is one of my favorites, and if it actually does a good job, and I hope it is a good fragrance. I'll probably fall head over heels with it. I love Starry Nights from Montal. I know some people think Montal is too synthetic, and they are very bold fragrances. But if you want beast mode, Montal does a pretty good job on the performance side too, guys. I know that they're a little bit more Arabian or Middle Eastern, so they're kind of daring to some people, but you could probably find one that works for you, and I hope that you do. Try the House of Montal out. Even though I do think they need to change the names, they got kind of a mess going on with all their different oud names and whatnot. So, Flatty Batty says, "I'll pass on 97% of Cartier, just me." No, more power to you. We all have different likes and dislikes. If you don't like Cartier, you don't. That's your deal, my friend. More power to you. What houses do you like, though? I'd be curious. What do you like? Ultra Super says Pasha Parfum. That's the one I was thinking of. Pasha Parfum is fantastic. Ben, it was a love at first sniff for me. I need to try it, and I do like myself a good boozy fragrance from time to time. So, Ultra Super, I definitely got to get my nose on that. Casey says, Mansara any good? What is the house all about? Mansara is a good house, and I do think it's one of the best entry level niche houses out there. A lot of them are very sweet, so you have to have a sweet tooth. I wouldn't say that they're all gourmand, but they all do have a lot of sweetness at the core of the DNA. Again, some people who are really deep into niche fragrances, some people who have tried a lot and are sticklers for quality think that Mansara is too synthetic and too bold. But I think a lot of people, again, if you're into the beast mode type of scene and you really want to get noticed and you want good longevity, Mansara does a great job. I really like Oud Vanille. It's really nice. It does have a medicinal oud on the top, but it does kind of go simmer down and then add this kind of like rouge, like energetic, almost like energetic velvet kind of quality to the fragrance. And the vanilla isn't too sweet. It almost has like a powderiness to it, and it's a really seductive scent. I really like that one, and I really like my Amber Fever. A lot of people have seemed to beat up on Amber Fever, but it's probably one of the most wearable fragrances. I mean, Mansara fragrances are wearable in general, but it's one of the most mass appealing, likable, and maybe one of the easiest going Mansaras. And a lot of them are super sweet. If you've never tried a Mansara fragrance before, I would probably encourage you to try Cedroc Boisé. It's probably the most mass appealing out of the bunch. A lot of people compare it to a Ventus, but it doesn't really smell like a lot like a Ventus, but it has somewhat of a similar feel. It's a different fragrance, but maybe if you wanted like an Aventus that was really sweet and you really didn't want a lot of the a lot of the bright citrusy side of the pineapple, and maybe you really didn't want any of the oak moss or any of the smoke, you might. Some people actually like Cedroc Boisé more than Aventus, and it has really good longevity and it does get compliments. So more power to you. Explore the house. Some of the more daring ones are probably, again, the Oud Vanille. That one's probably more daring. The Hindu Kush is probably daring to a lot of people. And they do have some really nice ones. Oud Cafe, a lot of people love that one. Give them a chance. And you can get them for about $80 if you look at the right place. Getting a Mansara, and they're not normal 3-ounce bottles, they're 4-ounce bottles. So if you can get a Mansara, a 4-ounce bottle for about $80, not only are you getting a great entry-level niche fragrance where it's good quality, good longevity, maybe it's a little bit more creative than what you're used to, but also you're getting a really good value. You're definitely getting your money's worth. Ghost Profiles, I had a few in the past. Yeah, some people have fun with it. I don't know who they are, but I love these people no matter who they are. Ultra super. For all I know, I don't know who you are either. Yeah, I don't know who you are. You could be Jeremy Fragrance. You could be George. I don't know who you are. Jitsets. Le Duc Dragon Cartier from the 70s woman line is the best fragrance in my opinion. I have not tried that exquisite fragrance. I'm sure that it was a masterpiece, but sadly I haven't tried it, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to get my nose on it. But it does sound nice, and hey, you can't. You better make a good fragrance if you put the name Dragon in it, right? You better make it good. This has been my YouTube name for over 10 years. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend Super Fat Bass. Thank you so much for popping by. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate you. You and all of you people here have made this live pretty darn fun. Casey says, might try Mansara Windwood. Absolutely. A lot of people some people seem to really like Windwood. I tried Sand. I think it was Sand Oud and Wind Oud. They're a little bit more dry, and they almost come off as a little bit sour to my nose. But you might really like it if you want like the best. Like a luxury. Imagine like a dryer sheet, like you put in your clothes when you're drying your clothes. To me, it almost smells like that, and it smells a little bit like the desert. And so it's a little bit soapy, it's a little bit sour, and it has this like, cotton quality to it. So it's definitely interesting, and it is wearable, even though that might sound a little bit unique. It's definitely pretty wearable. My name is Duncan. Well, thank you so much, Duncan, for hanging out with me. I probably got to wrap this up. I'm getting to the end of the comments, but thank you, wonderful people, for spending time with me. Melvin says, I blind bought La Yucawan Pour Homme by Rasasi. Looking forward to that late fall and winter. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited. Folks say it's beast mode. It is beast mode. I'm glad you mentioned that one. Guys, that's an outstanding fragrance. It's a clone of Tuscan Leather. I don't know if they admit to it, but it's definitely heavily inspired and their own version of Tuscan Leather. It's actually so good that people think it's a solid alternative. And for the money, some people say it's better, because it's a better value for your money. And some people actually say it's the better fragrance because even though the raspberry isn't any sweeter particularly, the raspberry kind of quality with Lo Yucawam actually holds on a lot longer, and I can actually feel it blend in the fragrance. And I actually think that it comes off more leathery. Tuscan Leather ends up being a little bit darker feeling and a little bit almost like melodramatic, and does come off maybe a little bit too spicy to some people. I think it's a good fragrance. I really like Tuscan Leather, but it's expensive, and not everybody out there can like it. It's kind of for Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford is kind of a fragrance for leather connoisseurs, or maybe if you like spices as well, you'll really like that fragrance. But yeah, La Yucawan makes it more wearable, makes it more affordable, and it does make it more mass appealing. And if you're a leather fragrance lover and you don't have it smelled La Yucawan, or maybe, if you've smelled Tuscan Leather and you said it was too expensive, or you said you wanted something more wearable, definitely get that Rasasi La Yucawan. I have it in my collection. I'm actually going to be rocking it this year too. Excellent fragrance, and it is a potent fragrance too. So, my name is Kevin. Night, absolutely. Night, we gotta go. We gotta wrap it up. Original says, sorry, I missed it. I missed it just for Ohm. Well, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, you popped in at the end. If you want to rewatch the watch the replay, if I can speak right tonight. It's still there, but it was fun. Thank you so much for popping in, Dogman. Y'all probably know Dogman. He's a bold man, but and I appreciate him for his, the work he does. So and he does individual reviews too. So give him a chance. I don't know if y'all have seen him before. He's polarizing to some people, but he does his thing, and he definitely has conviction. So I admire that. Cedroc Boisé is fire. Absolutely. Cedroc Boisé is one of the best values and one of the best mass appealing probably fragrances on the market today. For 4 ounces of a fragrance that gives you that kind of performance for $80, hard to beat Cedroc Boisé. Hi friends, this is Ash from Gent Sense Lol. Well, hello there. Just got home, picked up Curve Black and Michael Jordan Legend. I kind of do want to have a Curve in my collection. I've never blind bought one. I'll look forward to your review of Curve Black. I'll have to see if that one's for me. I do know about Michael Jordan Legend. That is considered a it's not Bleecker Street. It's what's it? I can't. It's a Bond Number 9 fragrance. It was like it's not coming to me. I don't know why. But it's Havana or something like that. It's supposed to be like a boozy, like a maple syrup type of smell. Some people say pancakes and waffles and syrup. So maple syrup. So anyways, after this live, after I cancel this, I'll remember that Bond Number 9 fragrance. New Harlem. I remembered it. New Harlem. Back in the day, that was hailed as the affordable alternative and the cheapy version of New Harlem by Bond Number 9, the Michael Jordan Legend. So you'll have to let us know if that one's good, if it's worth the money. I don't know if I'd buy it, but it is a solid fragrance. And sometimes those fragrances can sneak up on you. I do need to go, but I do want to say I've seen a lot of people recently talk about Guess Seductive Noir as being boring. It isn't very creative. It doesn't do anything different. But for $20, and again, everything isn't about the ladies, guys, but it actually, if you're a younger guy, or if you're buying a gift for a nephew, or maybe you just want to be carefree, go out in the night on the town and not have to wear an expensive fragrance and not have to care about it, ladies actually go gaga for that fragrance. I don't know why, but Guess Seductive Noir is not a bad fragrance. And I don't feel like it's just simply a Paco Rabanne 1 million clone. I'll be putting out a review of that one. I do think that there's some similarities, but it ends up to me smelling more of like a dark fruit kind of fragrance, and it's not the same as 1 million, but it definitely is inspired by it. But It's I don't like people just writing it off and not explaining the notes or how it feels and just saying it's a 1 million dupe. I don't like that business. So, Case, great chat, Ben. Thanks. Absolutely. Original Dogman, John Castro. How's the performance on Michael Jordan Legend? I heard it's really poor. I really don't know. I really don't know about the performance on that one. Thanks for helping on this live. I appreciate your comments on Liu Yukawan. I'm excited. Take care. Absolutely, Melvin. And I know that you'll be smelling good out there. Pull out a leather jacket or something, and definitely, rock the streets or be smelling good, my friend. I know that you will. That Liu Yukawan is good stuff. I think it does suck a little. I just sprayed a few minutes ago. New Harlem, bond number 9. Yep, that's the one. Love the talks, Ben. Another one, Rochas Pour Homme. I have had my eye on that one. It does look really nice. The bottle looks like melting ice or something like that. And I have had my eye on it. I've been tempted to buy it, but I just haven't gone around and done it. Maybe that's one of the few designers that I still have an eye on. I'm still watching it, but I probably should buy it before it gets discontinued and I can't find it. I need to stop doing that. I got scared with Cartier's Roadster. That almost happened to me. I almost slept on it for too long. So I did that with Black Access Aphrodisiac by Paco Rabanne, and I missed out on that fragrance. I'll probably never get to find it. Guest Seductive Noir is very, very attractive to the ladies. It is. And again, everything isn't about the ladies, but you can't just say it's a bad fragrance and you just can't write it off and say it's a 1 million dupe and ignore all these, the fragrance is great for the money. It's mass appealing. It is going to be great for people who like cheapies. And also, a lot of guys do like wearing fragrances to smell attractive to the ladies. And guys, Guest Seductive Noir, they put some of that special juice in there. They did something. It does something to the ladies. So, Ultra Super says, "Oh, Rochas, man." No, no, I wasn't thinking of. Oh, you were thinking of that one. I was thinking of the Rochas Pour Homme, the one that's. I think it's more of like almost a fougere aromatic type of scent. The one that has looks like melting ice. But that one, I forget that. Isn't that one like powdery and has like a little bit of almost cocoa or something to it? I get more of a almost like a chocolatey vibe. I do agree. It definitely has a little bit more of like a almost something like dark and sweet. I wouldn't say it's a gourmand, but to some people it could approach that gourmand territory, that Guest Seductive Noir. So I definitely could see that, and I do like chocolate scents. Oh my bad, not Seductive Noir. I meant Noir for the chocolate. But yes, I don't mean to keep you long. No, no, it's no problem. Y'all are absolutely awesome, and I'd like to get to the very end of the chat before I go. We nearly made it to 2 hours, guys, so I'm going to let y'all go. Have a beautiful weekend. Cook some amazing food. Spice it up. Use some new spices. Make something creative. Cook something different. A lot of us are indoors. Y'all know what's going on in the world right now. So why not look up a recipe on YouTube? Cook something fun. Cook something different. Maybe you've never made homemade bread before. Maybe you want to try to do a different version of your favorite recipe. Maybe slow cook something. Do something that takes a little bit more time, and just have some fun. If you're bored, there's lots of hobbies. There's lots of things you can do that don't have to cost you an awful lot of money. So, anyways, guys, I wish you the very best. Smell great. Wear what you love, and thank y'all for making this night pretty darn fun. And I'll see y'all next time, everybody. Until tomorrow or later, ciao, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.